Okay. Hey everyone. I don't know. I can't get it all big, but I can see you. So I see that some people are on. If I don't know who you are unless you put in the comments. So if you could write in the comments like, "Hey, Wendell from Florida," or something like that, that would be terrific. Well, welcome to Facebook Live. Uh, it's a stress shifter Facebook Live, and I haven't done this months. So I'm a little out of practice. But isn't that what stress is all about? Is about when you're not used to something and you're not quite sure about it and you have those doubts and those negative thoughts. And then how do you shift that? How do you actually face that negative and don't just run away and say, "Hey, I'm out of here. This is not working for me." So that's what I teach. That's what Stress Shifter teaches. And we have, you might recognize me from an online uh, class or course that we do, and it's a 4-week course that you can get, and I'm the teacher on that one. And we really take you and teach you how to transform it and how to do it so you can do it all the time. So first of all, the way you transform stress is you take a deep breath. So let me take a deep breath with you. In and then exhale. Oh, I can just feel that exhale. When we exhale longer than we inhale, we activate our parasympathetic nervous system. And that's the part of the nervous system that gets us to relax. You can actually just feel the stress and the tension leave, and you can feel your shoulders drop. It feels awesome. And so this is the beginning, because when we're learning how to really transform our negative thinking, transform our stress, we have to be able to face it. And this is the 4 keys, part of the 4 keys of Stress Shifter. I should be the first one who turns off their phone. So let me do that so it won't go off. You have to learn how to transform it. There we go. And by facing it. And so when we face our stress, it means that we realize that we're even there. Or when we face our negative thinking, we need to realize that we're doing it. This is why people repeat the same patterns over and over again. They have a negative thought like, "I'm not good enough," or "I shouldn't do this," or "I'm worried about tomorrow," or "this whole Facebook Live is going to fall apart." If you have that negative thought and it repeats in your head over and over again, then that stress builds up. Instead of the parasympathetic nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight, flight, and freeze response, it gets really anxious and you start shutting down. And we don't want that to happen. So we need to face what we're going to do and realize that we have the talent, that we can actually go and shift ourselves into positive thinking. So we have to face it, then focus. We focus on what's going on, so then we can then make the shift to the positive thinking. We have to be aware that we're having the negative thinking, and then we want to make the shift into the positive thinking. And we have to understand really what is the root thing that we're missing. What are we missing? And quite often what we're missing is positive thoughts. We get so wrapped up in our negative thoughts that we don't realize that we are focusing only on negative, not on the positive. So we want to face and we want to focus, and then we want to establish the ability to be free. Now, what do I mean by free? But it means that you have empowerment inside of you, that there's something inside of you that can take control. I can't control what's going on outside of me. And I don't know if you can hear right now, but my dogs have now decided that they're going to bark. They haven't barked all morning. And now they're barking on the other side. I can't control that, but I can control how I react to that. I can face that the dogs are barking, or that something is happening. I'm getting a phone call from someone I don't like, or maybe I just got a letter from the IRS I didn't want. I have to be able to realize that's coming in. I can focus on it, and then I realize I have the power on how I'm going to react to it. How am I going to react to it? And then when you realize that you have that power, that internal power on how you're going to react to something, then you can get into the flow, which means that you don't necessarily can change the outside world, but you can change your internal world and in your reactions. So you have the facing, the focusing, you become free, and then you enter that flow. And then in that flow, it means that you really feel empowered and you're not going to be startled when something doesn't go exactly right. That you realize that actually, when things go wrong, or when things don't turn out the way I want them, I can be flexible in the flow. Think of a river, how it flows. It flows around the rocks, right? Around the trees. In the flow, it doesn't mean that it's going to jump right through the tree or it's going to say, I'm not going to flow anymore. It means that, oh, I meant to go over in this direction. And then when you change your directions, you have endless opportunities, endless potential. All right, so that's a lot. That's a lot we're talking about. Let's bring it back to some real practical things we can do today. And I have set up a program right now. I got you for about 23 more minutes where we're going to actually do some work on this. Okay. So first of all, I want to say happy 2/2/22, February 2nd, 22. That's a lot of twos. And I think two is awesome because me and you together, we can combine and make something great. So I love this day, 2/2/22. So we're going to transform our negative thinking. The first thing we need to do is need to jot down. You have a piece of paper. I want you to write down some negative thinking that you have. I'll help you spur it down. We'll get a piece of paper. Go ahead, get yourself a pen. I'm going to reach down here and get myself a pen. Okay. And maybe some things that you're like, oh, if I only didn't think that way anymore, or I got to get over this. Let's get down what we want to transform. Once again, we're facing it. What do we want to transform? And put it into a simple word. So here are some examples. Let's see if you can get about 8 different ones. Anything that pops your head. You got your pen? Let's write down. How about something like fear, worry, anger? Excuse me, boys. I'm busy on Facebook Live. Regret, annoyances, anxiety, jealousy, stagnation, being stuck, sadness, loneliness. Let's see. What else could there be? Annoyance, aggravation. Just jot a few down, okay? Jot them down. No one is going to see this, guys. This is a Facebook Live for you to transform this, okay? So jot them down. Take a look. Let's see. I'll write down a few more. Insecurity. That's a good one. All right, let's see. I jotted some down a little earlier. This is what I wrote for myself. Fear, anger, worry, doubt, insecurity, jealousy, unmotivated, stuck, regret, sadness, loneliness, anxiety. Now, I don't have all these all the time, but they come up and they're the negative thinking that comes through. So now what I want you to do is look at your list. Go ahead and look at your list. And I want you to pick out 3. Put arrows next to 3 of them that you would like to transform. Okay. You would like, say, Lindsay, I want to have the power of transformation. What are the 3? All right. All right. Here's my list. I'm going to show it to you. And I picked worry, doubt, and being stuck. All right. I have my list of what I want to transform. Now, we don't want to own that list, right? We want to move on from that list, but we need to know where we're going to start. And that, I'm going to write it really big, is facing. Facing is when you are open. Listen, I can hold my, here's my facing. I can hold my worry card, my doubt, and my stuck, the three that I picked in my hand. I'm not freaking out. I'm okay with that. They're just thoughts, right? They're just thoughts, but they're thoughts I want to transform. So I'm going to put my face card down here, and we're going to come back to that. Now, Stress Shifter, we have a newsletter and an email that goes out. And our last two emails, we sent out some wonderful articles that I wrote about choosing your personal quality. And the reason why I talked about personal qualities that we do want. In personal qualities, we sent out a terrific list of personal qualities that you would like to cultivate. Now, you can see there's over 100 here. I can't take on all these personal qualities. But what we want to do is, what do you want to have? You can tell me what you don't want to have. You don't want to have worry and you don't want to have anxiety. I got that. No one wants to have that. But what do you want to have? This is where people get stumped, because they can think about what they don't want all the time, but they can't think about what they do want. So let's take a few minutes. I'm going to read off some personal qualities that you might want to cultivate. Okay. When you hear one that sounds like something that you would like to cultivate in yourself, write it down. See if we can get about 8 of them. Okay. Here we go. Acceptance, balance, bravery, calmness, compassion, courage, curiosity. That's a good one. Drive, discipline, discernment, empathy, equality, excellence, faith, flowing, focus, fun. Just write down whatever one that's coming to you. See if you can get about 8. I'm going to get some more out here for you. Gratitude, growth, harmony, humility, insightfulness, integrity, intuitiveness, joy. I always love joy. Joy is a good one for me. Joy. I'm always trying to cultivate joy within myself. Mindfulness. Being a mindful teacher, I always am working on mindfulness. Optimism, passion, peace, purpose, responsibility, resiliency. That's a good one too. They're all good. I got hundreds of them here. Just write down the ones that really stick out. You might be coming up with your own. So write down anything you want. Stability, strength, serenity, tolerance, trust. That's a big one for me. Trust. Understanding, unity, vision, wisdom. And I'm going to say wealth, but I wouldn't write down wealth if that's something. I'd write abundance. Abundance, because abundance, if you want to cultivate abundance, it can be abundance of pleasant thoughts, abundance of wealth, abundance of health. Health could be a big one. All right. Did you get about 8 down? These are the ones I wrote, so I want to share them with you. Calm, compassion, courage, enthusiasm. I love enthusiasm. It really gets me places. Fun, gratitude, harmony, joy. I told you joy is one of my favorite. Of course, love, right? And I always say loving kindness. Loving kindness. Kindness is a big one for me. Mindfulness, patience, trust. Now you see my card? This is the card that we just did. things that we want to change. Okay, we already know that we have these negative thinking. That's facing it. But let's focus on what we do want. Let's focus on what we do want. If someone said to you, what do you want today? You don't want to say, I don't want to be fearful. You want to say, I want to be peaceful. I want to have harmony. I am balance. Stop talking in the negative and start talking in the positive. Positive thinking, optimism, right? All right, now take your card. You've got your card. You have a whole bunch of them written down. Nobody's going to see this, but do what I did. Circle it. You see how I've circled? I've circled calmness, courage, joy, and trust. I want to do all these, and I am so much more than this. But we have a starting point, a baby step, a baby step. And we have to take a baby step in the present moment to move forward. We don't want to keep doing what we did in the past and keep looking back in old ways. And then we have that continual old mind that pulls us down. We want to be in the present moment and be able to take control, inner control, use the resources we have within ourselves on creating what we do want. This is huge. This is huge. I love this book. I want to just show it to you real quick. Moments of Mindfulness, and it's by Thich Nhat Hanh, who has passed to the other side, but his wisdom will live for forever. And he wrote in this. I just randomly picked up this book today. I just love it when synchronicities like this, right? When you're in the flow, like the river, okay? And I picked up and it said, the mind can go in 1,000 directions, but on this beautiful path, I walk in peace. With each step, a gentle wind blows. With each step, a flower blooms. I randomly picked to this page, and this is exactly what we're doing. The mind can go in 1,000 directions, right? We know our mind can go in 1,000 directions. We have a whole list of negative thinking that we already have. But what we want to do is pull ourselves into this path, this present moment, where we're cultivating beauty, where we're cultivating our personal qualities. The mind can go in 1,000 directions, but on this beautiful path, I walk in peace. With each step, with each baby step, okay, with each step, a gentle wind blows. With each step, a flower blooms. What he's saying is pull yourself in the present moment and take a present moment step forward with practice, patience, and perseverance. I like those P's. Let's take little steps forward, changing our negative thinking into our positive thinking. It's from the beginning of time that human beings have gone to the negative. And it's from the beginning of time that the wise sages of the world, any of them, say you need to be aware that you do it, aware of what they are, pull yourself in the present moment, go into the internal inside power of choice and decide with a baby step, what will you do differently? What will you think differently? And this is what we're cultivating. Now, that was from Thich Nhat Hanh. But if you want to go and just break it down into what the psychologists say, you can look up attitude, behavior, consistency theory. And basically, this psychology of attitude, behavior, consistency theory says that whatever your attitude is, your behavior will follow. Whatever your attitude is, your behavior will follow. Makes sense. Now, if you go on and read about it, they say, of course, It's not that easy, because if you had the attitude in voting for one particular party, probably your behavior in the voting booth will match. But if you had an attitude about, let's say, it's really good to give blood. I believe it's really good to give blood. It doesn't mean that you're going to give blood, because you might be scared of needles. So it gets a little complicated. Your attitude doesn't necessarily always predict your behavior. However, it goes on and says that the one thing in the correlation that shows that your attitude will predict your behavior is if it is your conscious intention to live that attitude. If you make it your choice, your conscious choice. So this is what they've proven in psychology, that if I have an attitude and make it my conscious choice that this will be who I am, then your behavior will follow that. And if your behavior follows that, it reinforces your attitude about that. And then you're on a spiral up instead of the negative thinking of the spiral down. So what did we just do with personal qualities? What did I have you do? I had you think about personal qualities that are important to you. I had you write them down. I had you then decide and pick one. Pick or circle 3 or 4 of them, like I did: calm, courage, joy, trust. I now have the intention that this attitude, these personal qualities are part of me. And if they're going to be part of me, then my behavior will follow. If my behavior will follow, then I can leave behind my negative thinking and I'll start living into my positive thinking. And what you think, you become, right? Attitude to behaviors, then you have consequence or outcome. And if it's a positive attitude, then you have a positive behavior, you have a positive consequence or outcome, cause and effect. It can go negative, but it can go positive. And what's so important about human beings is that we have the internal power of choice. The internal power of choice. And we chose these, which makes them our intention. So you see how we faced what our problem was, but then we focused on what we wanted. And we're now becoming free because our intentions, we're saying our intentions are these, and that will predict our behaviors, which will put us into the flow. So what do you do next after that? What I want you to do is right in front of your ones that you circled, like I did. I want you to write I am. That's simple. I am. So in other words, I circled calm. I am calm. I am calm. I circled courage. I am courage. I circled joy. I am joy. I circled trust. I am trusting. I am trusting. And I'm meaning I'm entrusting inside of me. Okay. So we're making I am statements. We are declaring with our intentions, I am. Do you see how we're already shifting? Now, we have our I am statements. I want you now to feel them. When have you ever felt calm? I am calm. And when you say that, when you pick whatever personal quality you already have, I want you to close your eyes, pick one. I am calm. And see when that comes up and when it's been true in the past that you have felt that way. I am calm. I am courage. That's the second one. And you know what I did? I want you to, I put 2 together. I am calm courage. And I put the other 2 together. I am joyful trust. You can put them together and blend them together to make them even stronger if that is something that resonates as internal as truth for you. Okay? So I am calm courage. So I'm going to get back and I'm going to think, when was I ever calm courage? Really calm courage. And I want to be able to feel it, because what you want to do is get beyond just your thinking mind. You want to get in and attach it to your feeling mind, so you know what calm courage feels like. It's not just words, it's actually part of your system within. I am calm courage. And I remember when last time, well, one time I was calm courage is when I spoke at JPL. And I walked in and I in this huge auditorium, massive auditorium. And I was like, my heart started to race. And there was literally my screen that was behind me when I was teaching my mindfulness class had to be 30 feet tall. It was amazing. It was amazing. And I breathed in, no, I have the courage and I am calm and I can do this. And I did it. And then I got in there and took all that extra energy and put it into my presentation, and it went well. So I know what calm courage feels like. Now let's go back to the first sheet that we had, okay, where we had our negative thinking. When I wrote here, let's say doubt. When I get negative, I can't do this. It's not going to work. Whatever. Even this coming, I haven't been on Facebook Live in months. I can't even tell you. It might even be a year since the last time I was on Facebook Live. So I had a little bit of doubt going on, but when I started to feel doubt, and I know what doubt feels like, right? Then you take your card and you're going to replace that. You're going to become free from that doubt with this new positive thinking and affirmation. So when that doubt arises, I say to myself, I am calm courage. Even though I might feel doubt right now, I know and I can feel the courage arising in me. It is inside of me. It is now taking over that old feeling. What would calm courage do in this situation? Use that personal quality as your anchor when you start feeling these negative ones. So I also wrote, oh, when I get stuck like stagnation. I don't want to be in stagnation. So my other one was this joyful trust. I am joyful trust. So I want to know that when I start feeling stagnation, joyful trust is where I can let go. And for me, let God and just let life live through me and not be stuck. So when I start feeling that stuck feeling, I need to then bring in the feeling of joyful trust and say to myself, I am joyful trust. Even in this situation, I am joyful trust. So we have built affirmations in this quick half an hour that are very positive, that you picked out, that radiated with you. Now I want you to take them and sit with them and think of some times in your life that those affirmations were true, because you need to feel it. I know you know what it feels like to feel lonely or fearful or stuck or worried or anxious. Those words have feelings attached to them, and you can generate them very fast and have your whole body react to those words. I would like you to take on these positive affirmations that we just created together through your personal qualities and really remember times that you felt them. So when you start having that negative thought, which generates that negative feeling, you're going to switch your intention, your attitude to your new affirmation that you chose for yourself. And you're going to imprint that and remember what that feels like. And remember when we were talking about attitude, behavior, consistency theory, when you bring in the intention of this new attitude, your behavior will change. When your behavior changes, then the things around you change because they're responding differently. You have control of what's inside of here. I can't control the dogs barking. I can't control if there's a glitch with Facebook Live. I can't do any of that. But I can have joyful trust. I can know that no matter what, I can face the problem, focus on it, come up with a solution, being free, and go with the flow. We did this in literally 30 minutes. Keep practicing. Practice patience and perseverance, my favorite P's. And I'll come back on Stress Shifter Live again, and we can do some more tools and techniques. Have a wonderful day on your journey in the present moment with your new affirmations, with your new attitude of power, of personal qualities that you're cultivating in 2022. Have a wonderful day. See you all again. And sign up for the Stress Shifter newsletter so you can see some more qualities and tips that I send out once, twice a month. We send you an email. Have a great day. Bye-bye.